Hello, Market Irish Football Fan TV. This is the starting 11 show. It's the Republic of Ireland versus Latvia tomorrow night at the Aviva Stadium. And I'm going to just get straight into it. The excitement is building, and it's the first game of 2023. Ireland at home in the Aviva, the new jersey, the new crest, all the new branding, everything like that. So it's an exciting time, I think. Some people might not think so, or might not think so much, but I think it's an exciting time. So yeah, look, I'm gonna waste no time. Get stuck in. Gavin Bazunu is number one. He's playing brilliantly for Southampton at the moment. He's playing Premier League football every single week. He's our highest performing goalkeeper. So I would have him as our goalkeeper all day long. And for me, he has to start. I mean, we need to start as we mean to go on for the France game. We need consistency and we need our best players playing. So I think you got to have Bazunu in there. No need to experiment with anything else in goals. So for me, Bazunu all day long. Then in front of him, I want to go with a back three. I'm going to start off with Nathan Collins. And the reason why I go with him is because I would like him to get 90 minutes just to get that sharpness back ahead of the France game, because I feel like he's going to start. I think he's been our highest performing defender for the last year, and what I mean by that is he's played in the Premier League for the most amount of time out of our centre backs, and including Shane Duffy. So I think I know he's come out of the team recently. He's been in and out of the Wolves team, and probably since around January. So I think it's a kind of testing time for him, but I think if he can come out of this international break playing himself back into form, then it could work out really well for him. So I think if he can get a game under his belt for the Latvia game, avoid injury and suspension, then I'd have him starting against France as well. Then beside him, I'd throw John Egan in there. I think he's been absolutely brilliant for Sheffield United so far this season, and he's just reliable, he's ever present, and he's even adding goals to his game, especially under Stephen Kenny. So I think he's been a revelation for Stephen Kenny in many aspects as a defender. So I think John Egan has to come in there in the middle of the defence, and then to the left of him I go with Darragh O'Shea, who's played every minute for West Brom this season, so and captained them too. So I think you got to have Darragh O'Shea in there. I think just because he plays on that left hand side, and that brings a real balance to the team. And you could say Bamadelli and Seamus Coleman feel hard done by there, but I think if you're really looking at it, I think that's the best three in terms of balance. You've got height, physicality, and players that can play with the ball. So I think for me it makes sense to have the three of them in there. And Darragh O'Shea is comfortable off the left hand side, stepping in to play and progressing, making progressive passes like he did against Armenia with Michael Obafemi's goal when he set that goal up. So I think if you have the three of them in there, that makes total sense. And then wing backs, I'd go with James McLean on the left hand side. I just think it'd be no harm to play James in this fixture, because it will largely have a lot of the ball, and if he's going to be getting up and down there, it makes sense to have him, considering the form he's in at Wigan. I know they're having a poor season as a collective, but individually he's had a great season so far. And then on the right hand side, he's already said that Matt Doherty's going to captain the side, so I think you're going to have him there. He's going to be captain again. He could benefit from playing with a game and seeing how well he goes. Apparently his fitness levels are quite good, but he obviously needs to be match fit as well for it to realistically work. So I think you do that. And the only reason I'm resting Seamus Coleman is because I'd rather play him against France. I know he's carrying a knock on his knee, so I'd rest him, and I'd bring on Bamadelli off the bench and just see how he is as well. So we've got good options at the back there, which is great. And then midfield, I'm going to bring it in to midfield with Josh Cullen and Jason Malumbi. For me, the two of them have to start. I think they bring energy and tempo to our midfield, and that's what we need, and a combativeness as well, especially Malumbi, and someone who can carry the ball for us up the pitch if we need to in Malumbi. Then in front of them, I would go with Will Smallbone. I think it makes total sense to have him in there ahead of them. This is a perfect game to give him an opportunity, and let's see how he gets on. I know people might say Jason Knight probably deserves a chance there, but I think Jason Knight's proved himself a few times already for Ireland, so we already know what he's capable of, and I'm sure he could get a spot off the bench no problem, and probably affect the game like he usually does. So I'm going to go with small bone there at the top of the midfield, and then up front, Evan Ferguson is going to start his first game tomorrow, and hopefully he gets his first international goal as well. That would be fantastic. But if he doesn't, we'll still support him, and hopefully he gets his first goal against France. Then he'd really go down as a hero. But I think if you're looking at then up front, I think Michael Obafemi, he could benefit from playing and starting, I think, but I think he'd actually benefit more from coming off the bench. Maybe after an hour, take off Ferguson, bring on Obafemi, and then for me, I'd play Ogbene, Chiedozie Ogbene up front with Evan Ferguson. I think gives you an opportunity then to have pace in behind, and he can link up with him. So I think it makes sense to have Ogbene there with Ferguson. But if I was playing against France, I would want Obafemi and Ferguson. So that's where my logic comes into it. Take Ferguson off after an hour, bring on Obafemi. Neither of them get injured, and you can play your two best strikers then, but best goal scorers, I would say, because I think Ogbene has an awful lot to offer, and I think he's probably not the best goal scorer, but he'll give you a lot on and off the ball too. So I think it's good options for Stephen Kenny to have, I suppose. So that's my starting 11. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. It really helps us grow if you can like our videos, and if you can comment on our videos as well. That would be fantastic. Thanks very much for watching. Leave your starting 11 in the comments below, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.
Incredibly, France had the second seeds in our group, which is considered the most consistent team in the world over the last 8 years. As we said, they're the strongest team